back again. Maddie's back. Tell a friend.
Oh gosh.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to. Hey, true story. I've been going to my storage locker. I've been pulling up. This is my favorite Avril Lavigne CD.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's my favorite one. I also have my favorite Eminem CD is actually Recovery. They came out in the same year, right? They actually both came out in the same year. It's ironic because both of them talk about a lot of the same things, even though they do it in very different ways. They talk about a lot of the same things, which is when you're in your 20s, you care about what everybody tells you. When you're 30, you stop giving a shit. When you're 40, you give it even less of a shit, right? So, and I say it like that because I'm at that point. Like I said, I'm in an interesting place personally and my own personal philosophies and everything like that. It's funny because I also I got a day job, a part-time day job that pays really, really well for me to do very, very little. It's awesome. I figured out, I love that. Min-maxing's awesome.
Yeah.
Right. I got a job interview after Labor Day to be a podcast producer for a pretty well-known show.
Sweet.
You know the videos I've been doing that actually led to that job interview.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Because you work hard on those videos. I've seen, I got to see the start of those videos. I think it's the advertising ones, right? Or
well, they're not.
Maybe
they're not. Oh, they're not quite as okay. These ones are They're a little simpler because I'm doing one every day. I don't want to break myself not every day. Every time I release an episode, I usually make a video for that episode that's coming out on the audio. It's kind of like a way to advertise my podcast, build my social platforms up. It's kind of like a combination thing. Yeah. So I wanted to come up with a relatively simple way of doing it that I could do every day. Doesn't break my back. Again, it's about working. I don't know about you, but
smarter, not harder.
Yes. Yes. I'm at that. I'm not saying. I actually had a conversation with a buddy yesterday. Now, his criticism about my other videos, I think, was fair, but this one, I like these ones. I told him, no, man, I can't put a lot of graphics in or anything like that because it would be dishonest to the show. The show's a live Twitch stream, so I shouldn't be putting in a lot of extra graphics, pictures, but I should code it a little bit so people can get a sense of what's going on. And if people want to follow the links, download the episodes, they can do so, So, and if not, it's also been very interesting. But like I said, in particular, my LinkedIn account has blown up big time for this. I'm getting a lot more interactions on my LinkedIn as a result of me doing these videos because I get the usual hey, I'll sell you your podcast and stuff like that, and that drives you a little bit funky, but that's part of the deal, right? But the other part of it is it's also, again, I got that job interview for the podcast producer role, right? Because of that and my credentials as a podcaster. And so it's one of those situations where I look at it and it's open doors without even me trying. And again, it's also an advertisement for my video business because if I do that and people like what they see there, I can make videos. Now, this is a simple version. I do something a little bit more complex if it was, say, a project, but again, same kind of concept. I break down some footage. I'd make a format that's really appealing throughout the whole process, right? Mm-hmm. But again, work smarter, not hard. I'm not going to kill myself.
Yeah.
What the heck? Oh, looks like people found Madilynn Dale's video. That one, I just put it up there. It got it's become more popular. Facebook at least really likes that video.
That's good. That's not a bad
thing. So. Yeah. So it's just what the heck? But that's it. You learn in this. You learn doing this. Mm-hmm. Work smarter, not harder, because no one. A, I'm not a punk, and B, like I say it like that, I'm not a punk, and B, again, I can show you a glimpse of what I can do without actually killing myself.
Yes, that's good because a lot of us can't do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm still freelance. I'm still even though I like I said, the day job's part. Like I said, it's a min-max day job. It lets me still freelance. Let me still create. It lets me still do. Because I'm not ever not doing that anymore. I'm too old for anything like I'm just too old to do anything else seriously.
No,
It's just, yeah.
I mean, no, you're not. You're not.
Oh,
I disagree.
I think if
You're not
no,
that old, Josh. Come on.
I'm not old. It's just I realize that my time, I am middle aged, and I can see this for the first time in a long time. It's like I actually do have some gray hair. It's the first time I actually noticed it, but I actually do have some, right?
Yeah.
And it's fine. But the thing is, I look at it like this, right? I've hit that age where, I worry about my time, not my time and my energy going to places it needs to be, and that's me and people I love, and that's it. Yeah, I'm not too
I
afraid.
feel that because I feel like I've shifted more towards that than before. Sorry, I was scratching my leg. So
Yeah. Well,
and
you realize you can't please everybody. You realize that you can't. The world is the world. The world is the world, and you're not going to change the world. But what you are going to be doing, what you can do, is like, well, what is my place in the world? What is that worth to me? And if anyone wants to take me out of those places, how much is it going to cost them to do it?
yeah.
And I think like that now. And so I don't. And I've noticed this. I've gotten better jobs ever since I started thinking this way. Right.
Mhm.
So
That's good.
yeah.
I feel like I've kind of burned myself out on writing lately. So, but
It's okay to take a break.
yeah.
Doesn't
Well, and
kill.
I got to thinking, I'm like, I've done a lot because I released that book in January. Then I did my box set, and now I've got like 3 stories dropping with different anthologies between now and December. And I'm like, okay, we're just gonna hold off book 2 and edit it next year. So I'm like, it's okay, we're okay.
Yeah. Well, I got. So any other one of the other reasons I got the day job is so I can pay
Yeah.
off people, so I can get ready, because I'm launching at least 3 Kickstarters next year.
Dang, that's a lot.
Yeah.
It's gonna be busy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I know. But
it's
I
good.
also, but again, my first one, I'm actually quietly starting to. I'm going to certain people now and be like, so listen. So about that, I have a unique problem with this one. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna lie. This is my Dr. Seuss book. Like that's literally what this is. This is my Dr.
Yes.
Seuss book. And I'm like, I have a very unique problem with it, and I gotta solve it. And once I solve it, and I'm going to a buddy of mine. It's like, you're a letterer. You might know what you might have. You might be able to help me with this.
Mhm.
What am I going to need to do? But once I solve that problem, I have a finished book, and so then at that point, I start going to then I start thinking, okay, what bells and whistles can I do? Because Kickstarter is a collector's market, so I
Mhm.
gotta think like a collector. What kind of bells and whistles and shinies and buttons and magic and things on my boob is gonna add to it, right?
Yeah.
So, but that'll be my first one next year, and yeah, I if I'm known as a Dr. Seuss writer, Maddie, I think I've done okay in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ended up on my bookshelf, so
Yeah, did you see? I got my first illustration.
I
Yeah,
did. I did. I think I posted congrats underneath it. I'm not
yeah,
sure.
you did.
Maybe it was the little.
You gave me the golf. You gave me the golf clap. You gave me the golf clap. Yeah. So I'm a published illustrator now. So I was like, yeah. No,
You've been working hard on it, so and I'm super proud of you for how hard you've worked on it.
yeah. Well, my one buddy called me a machine. I was like, I don't know if I'm a machine. I just do shit. That's all I do. I just do. I just get into that habit, you know.
Yeah, you get into the creative flow and it just goes.
Yeah.
So.
Like, and also I have like 2 very simple rules. It either makes me money or I have fun, and I don't break those 2 rules.
Those are good rules to keep.
Yeah. But it sounds like you've been going like this, juggling between being a mom, being a writer.
Oh yeah, and I am tired.
I see that.
Yeah.
I see that you got like those mom eyes of like, I've carried what I'm carrying,
Yes.
and I'm good with this, and no one, please don't add more.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my full load of stuff for the fall. So I'm like, okay, we're just gonna write. No intention of like straight up releasing something right now, unless it's gonna be Well, I've got the short stories, which are not on me. They're like on a different person that's publishing the short stories. So I'm like, okay, like that's there. That's my name on things going out. I'm okay with that. We'll write for next year so we can release and then we can plan it out and be ahead and cool. Because, yeah,
You're done. You're just done for a
yes,
while.
I am. Because I'm just like, I've been trying to like get back on my writing train because I was on the super awesome writing train. I was writing every day for a little bit, just going and going. And I'm like, school started, schedule's gotten hectic. And I'm like, okay, I'm not sleeping great. There's too much going on here. So I'm like, okay, we'll just back off a little bit.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a contest.
No, it's not.
It's not a contest. Like, I might sound good saying I'm doing 3 Kickstarters at once, but that's a lot of prep, and I'm still doing a lot of prep behind the scenes. I've seen Kickstarters that are half-assed, and I don't want to be one of those. Sometimes they make their goals anyway, but I always look at those ones as like they leave money on the table.
Yeah.
Right. That's how I look at it. You've left money on the table, and I don't want to do that. Now, I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to be the first to acknowledge I'm going to make a butt ton of mistakes.
We're human.
Yep, but I want them to be honest mistakes, right?
Yeah. Not rushed, like cutting shortcuts or corners. And yeah, I'm the same way about like my writing and anything I've got coming up. I'm like, we're just going to step back. So, because I've got a lot of fun stuff coming out for Go Indie now. Like, I'm getting ahead on those episodes, and I'm really excited for everybody to see that this fall.
Yeah.
I'm also going to be having fun with This Week in Indies a lot more this go around. I don't know if I'm supposed to be sharing that. I hope Joe doesn't get mad at me. So,
This officially goes on the audio in about 2.5 weeks, so he might be able to make the announcement then. Hey, you know my big little secret, at least for the start of year 9. So it's
yes.
like you're like, that's cool, right? But I mean, it's about being bold and asking. And no, folks, I ain't telling you who the guest is. Some people know, and that's all it is.
Lips are sealed.
Yes. She was like, I go, do you want me to spoil it? Or do you want to read the newsletter? She's like, can you spoil it for me now, please? That'd be great.
Yes. And for the record, too, guys, my email box is like insane. I'm picking out this important emails and opening them, and I'm like, I need to go through and just delete the rest. So
no, you have to. Like I read something like 8 newsletters right now, like regularly, like which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot of time to read some of them. Some of them are really. The one I recommend everybody do, and it's not mine, although you should be listening to mine just when I do it, right? I gotta make it slightly more regular than I'm doing it right now but even so, I've been waiting to show something else, but I think what I'm going to do is just do that newsletter tonight because it's potentially a 4th release next year.
Yay.
But that might be going somewhere else. I can't really say much about that at the moment. But yeah, so it's like, but yeah, next year I'm going to be going from 6 books, it looks like, to 10. So in 1 year. So that's right. I hit double digits. I hit double digits as an author in terms of books. So really, like, yeah, and then and I break 1,000 next year on the podcast.
I know that's gonna be awesome. I'm starting a podcast, but it's like, it's just there right now, so it's not my main focus.
What is there? Like, define there.
It's just started. Like, I think I have 3 or 4 episodes up. I'm doing book reviews, book talks, book interviews, like with like the authors I interview on my YouTube channel. I'm putting that on there too. But I'm kind of like still learning the equipment to do some of the recording stuff. So.
When I started, I had like just a cell phone and Audacity. I still use Audacity, but now it's way more sophisticated than it used to be.
I'm thankful for my stuff that I already use for my interviews because it kind of makes it easier. And I've been using Adobe's something other to like edit the sound and stuff. So
Adobe's got a pretty good package there. It's not my favorite sound stuff, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's not bad. I have it from the package I signed up for, like the videos and stuff. So, and the graphics.
Now they do have a great video suite. That's the one thing I will give them. They have a fantastic video suite. The one I'm using is Power Director, which is a little like it's still good, mine, but it's not Adobe. Adobe can do some really impressive things. I actually learned Adobe Premiere Pro like hard way back when I was in college.
Yeah.
Oh, probably like the worst thing ever. Like because here's the thing. It wasn't so like we were gonna put like we had to figure everything out from scratch.
Mhm.
And when you have a program like Adobe, that takes a long time to
Oh
learn.
yeah, it does.
But when we finally got the background stuff figured out, there was a problem because he would film the green screen in different places, and there's two of them I will never forget. And the first one, he had half the person in the green screen and half the person without the green screen. So when we put the green screen on, they were literally cut in half. I'll never forget that for as long as I live. It's like so that was one. Now the second one was they did the green screen in like, so you see, imagine these windows, okay, right beside me, the Starbucks windows.
Mhm.
Put a green screen curtain over that, okay, right? Hi,
Hey Jane.
hey Jane, what's up? And you too, Josh. You'd love me. Anyway, that's okay. But I say it like this, right? I say it like, so the green screen, right, was outside in the front of the school entrance. At nightfall, when people were pulling away from their cars, there is nothing like putting a background in. You can see the headlights of all these cars leaving in the moon. It was bad.
Oh, the cat.
Okay.
Sorry, the cat caused the door to slam. I
okay.
did not know what that was. I was like, what is Harrison doing for this night?
Yes. Yes, Harrison. Like I said, he's humbling because he's held this show hostage, which is something like, it's like,
Dad is home tonight though, and he'll probably come harass me when they go to get in the tub here in a minute. They've been using the big bathtub to make doubles, so yes.
He'll be busy for a little bit at least.
Yeah.
So, which is cool. No, I say it like that, right? So like after doing that, like watching that, we actually made a decision not to put a graphic in any of the green screens. So there is zero. You can't get the headlights out. There's no way to fix the cut in half. There's nothing you can do about it. So it's just like, so we got, and those are just two of them. Those are the ones that are the most memorable. They were never filmed in a consistent way. Yeah. And because they never were filmed in a consistent way, we actually decided not to use the green screen because we showed the class the green screen. It's like, it can't be that bad. Like, no, it's that bad. It's like, so yeah, we ended up finally canceling the project because also that computer was like a shoestring and a prayer, right? I think with the memory, it was just so. It was a miracle it kept everything going the way it did for as long as it did. It's like, how did that computer not crash? People ask why I believe in God. It's like stuff like this. Stuff like this is why. And but what ended up happening was I learned an awful lot. But Adobe now, because it's even way more complex than when I was back in my colleges, I imagine it'd be like the same butt kicking all over again.
Yeah, it is. It's very like, I get a headache from working with the new program stuff on it. And I'm like, okay, we're just going to come back and try this again. Because I'm one of those, like, I have to learn by doing, like, and I use a lot of their tutorials and stuff. But I've also found, like, working through certain things on the program with, like, a YouTube video going on my second screen helps me work through it. So.
No, I get it. No, I use YouTube University. How do I do this cool effect? Done. Right. YouTube University is my it's quicker. That's the one advantage in today's day and age. I didn't have to figure this out completely on scratch. I still remember the first time. It's like, how do I cut film up? Oh, it's that button, right?
Yeah.
Right. Now it's like, now I don't have to worry about that anymore. It's like, okay, so how to do this really cool effects and go from there, right? So, but it's but even so, I'm still learning. Like, I'm still absolutely learning. It's a process. Like, I've done, like, you're almost at 8. I'm almost at 850 right now, right? Like, you're 846, right? So,
sweet.
Yeah. So that means that basically, it looks like I too. No, it's you. Oh, okay, it is Harrison. He's in the background. Yes.
He's petting the cat.
Hi, Mr. Harrison.
Harrison, you wave at Josh.
Hi.
He can't hear you, but he can see you.
So is that okay? Like when I do my book, if I put Mr. Harrison as my nemesis,
Yes, I think he would love that coming, especially because we'll probably read it at some point.
yeah, okay. No, yeah. So yeah. So like that'll be it. It's like Mr. Harrison is my nemesis. Like Harrison, this is for you for holding my show hostage. No, it's like there's tears in my eyes. No, it's just like he's just But hey, it wouldn't be a just Joshing without Harrison. So Mr. Harrison now he's just looking. Now he's just looking around. He's like, what's going on? Now he's playing. He's playing peekaboo with me right now.
He is. That's his best friend up there on the piano. We got Pyre in March, I think, and like those two are like inseparable. So,
yeah, so you got your own Calvin and Hobbes right there.
Pretty much, and
gosh.
In the mornings, he comes and wakes us up, and so does the Bengal. And I'm just like, really, guys, go wait. If you meow, he's gonna wake up and want to sleep some more. So.
Cats train you just as much. I actually am firmly believe cats train us. So I had a short hair tab. About like last cat I had was short hair tab. As a teenager, I would be the one to feed him. 7 o'clock in the morning, no matter what, he'd nibble on my toes even to wake me up. Nothing. It wasn't painful. No, see, here's the thing. Cats have a really good sense of control. There's a fine line between hurting somebody and just letting them know you're there.
It's like the little love bites.
Yeah, it was essentially what it was. It would wake me up. It's like, oh, you bastard, I have to get up tonight. So I'd get up, I feed him. And when I wanted to sleep in, I never would get that chance to sleep in because he would make sure, right? Now,
yes,
that's just the way it is, right? And it was like, so I mean, I feel like cats secretly train us. Cats just secretly train us.
They do, and I have 4. So
you have 4 cats?
I do.
They outnumber you.
They do. Yep. 4 cats, 2 dogs, a fish, and then Harrison.
See, you got like the makings of like a kid's story, like right in your own home.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up on a farm, so if we had more land, we'd probably have like goats and horses and stuff too. So, yeah.
It's okay.
I got in trouble for bringing that one home from the vet.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember you telling me about that.
I just got glared at too, so my husband said, he's like, if you bring another animal home, we're getting divorced. I was like, okay,
yes.
Sure.
Well, there's a point, right? There is a point. It's like you gotta be reasonable. Like I am sure he gets away with his own stuff too sometimes, but yeah. Kind of.
I'm definitely the animal person, though. I do the stuff that's going to get me in trouble more often with those things. Or like, so we've been having a really bad drought. And Lowe's had trees on sale. They were 50% off. I got in trouble for this. But I've wanted to put shade in the backyard because our backyard has no trees. And I've grown up like with trees everywhere. It's super shady. So I went and got one of these quick growing shade trees and brought it home and put it in the ground. And I've been grounded for bringing plants home too now. So
Madilynn Dale, she needs an adult.
I do. My husband tries though. He really tries. Plants, animals, and books, and yeah.
So you're so he's the adult. Sometimes.
Most of the time, yes.
Most of the time, yes.
Unless it comes to video games, and then it's a whole different ball game.
What's his video game of choice?
What are you playing right now, Christopher? He's ignoring me because he's getting bath something. Chris. Hey, what game do you play at night right now? Escape from Tarkov.
Okay.
So, and we've been revisiting the Pokemon Sun and Moon too with Harrison because we've kind of introduced him to the Pokemon stuff, and he has his own collection of Pokemon cards going, and he's obsessed, officially obsessed. Like, yeah.
Well, It's funny. I just actually interviewed the guy that used to do Power Rangers continuity. I don't know. Oh, yeah. So the Edgar Pastin video, that guy did Power. That guy get Power. The episode's up on the audio if you want to download it. But yeah,
I'm gonna have to because that's
yeah.
awesome. We introduced him like to the very first Power Rangers as well, and
so yeah, we talk about that a lot actually about the idea of writing we did it from the perspective of writing formula.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, we talked Power Rangers for a bit because that's what he did for a few years because he was that was his day job. He literally had to watch thousands of hours of Power Rangers and do continuity stuff because that's a real job, right? And
awesome.
Yeah. Well, when a franchise when a franchise really succeeds, you're doing what you can to protect it. Now, there's a point with every franchise you can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Like Batman, Superman, even Spider-Man at this point can't do it. But Power Rangers is still young enough where you can actually be a bit of a protector, and you're trying to protect the core stuff of the franchise.
Yeah.
And so that's what he did, and it's a thankless job in some ways because you got to be. It's almost like you're the fun police, but you're doing it because you're a fan of the franchise and you want it to continue as healthily as possible. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's real. Like that was a real job, and I bring this up because, see, boys are the same universally. Like we like really cool toys, really cool, like either really cool monsters, really cool machines, or we just like really kick-ass action, right?
Yeah. Which he is totally into the action Power Rangers, Marvel, Spider-Man, which I'm super happy because me and my siblings and of course my husband, we all are. So it's just like, yes, we can all watch this and enjoy it.
So did you ever watch Ninja Turtles?
I did.
Did you ever get?
It was a little bit later though because I was born in '91 and it had been out for a little bit, but we did watch it. But we were obsessed with Power Rangers, like me and my siblings and my cousins, super obsessed with Power Rangers. So
what was your favorite series? The original or any?
Yeah, the original. So they've got one out. We quit watching it. I can't remember which season. It was like. I don't remember when it was, but we quit watching it because it got really weird for us. We didn't like it as much. But they've got a new one out, the Dino Fury Power Rangers, which is on Netflix. My son loves it, and it's not bad. Like, it's actually okay. It reminds me a lot of the first Power Rangers.
Yeah, no, there's different incarnations of Power Rangers. Some of them are really good. Some of them aren't so good. But it's like everything else. Every franchise is for somebody, right? And that's the thing. Like, it's been around long enough to have that many shows. Something's done right. Something was being done right. So.
Yes. And maybe it's because we got older. I don't know, but.
Well, yeah. I mean, you get old. Well, see, what happens is you get older. It's like, okay, I've seen, and especially like a show like that when you see all the formula stuff. It's like, okay, I've seen this all before. Then it hit a certain age, and then you just go back from it. It's like people that grew up watching Batman in the '60s. Like it was like right. When they would stop watching, it's like, oh, thank God, this is such the lamest stuff ever. And then 10, 20 years later, we go back, it's like, oh, this stuff's really cool again, right? Because you remember it from your being a kid.
Yes.
And
then you're like, man, this is really kind of cheesy, but you can't stop watching it either. So.
I don't even worry about that anymore. I still collect the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic.
Yes.
Right?
Nice.
Like, that's mine. That is mine. And it's actually done by Kevin Eastman, the actual original creator. So I remember going to the comic shop, and there was like Ninja Turtles #1, and it was like the current series. Yeah. And I just was like, I don't care, I'm in. Like I saw his name on it. It's like I don't care, I'm in. I'm just in. I don't. Right, and so that was the one thing I actually did, and 9516. And I loved I still love that stuff because it was what I grew up with, right? That was so it was that and the Disney Afternoon. My other drug of choice from the comic shop was Darkwing Duck. That comic actually was
loved watching Darkwing Duck when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if they have him. Do they even have it on shows anymore? I don't think they even.
So the last DuckTales relaunch, he's in it.
That's
he's
good.
He's actually in it, but he's not in. He's not in it in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in it.
I am glad they've kind of brought it back though.
Oh yeah. Well, if it's a good idea, it's usually brought back in some form. Now, I hope it's a little different because it's a real fine line. You need places for new ideas to kind of grow, but it doesn't hurt if an old idea works. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yep. That is a saying I use. It's used all the time.
If it ain't broke, why fix it, right? But I mean, sometimes a show should, go to pasture. Like a personal note, I think The Simpsons is one of those shows. It would do well if it wasn't around. On the other hand, it still makes money. So like, I can't from a business sense, I get it. From a creative sense, less would be more.
I don't watch it anymore. So.
Well, no, I haven't watched it in years.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's not right. My Simpsons. It's the other thing. Like all these shows have like an era. Like you talk about it, Power Rangers. Like our era was the original. Maybe the racing one afterwards was popular to some people, but that was it. Like for me. I didn't even get into the racing one. I just liked the original, and when that was done, I was done. Right? They did like 200 episodes of the original. I was like, that's
it's a lot.
Right, but that's what happens, right? But look at a franchise like Doctor Who. I think they do it right. You get a new doctor. They do a cool year or two with the doctor, or maybe 3. Then the doctor disappears. Then there's a new doctor.
Yep. Kind of like reincarnated in a way, sort of.
Well, yeah,
I can't remember the actual terms because I started watching Doctor Who like a way back, but I didn't ever finish it. So.
No, I totally get that. No, I don't. No, it's not for. Again, you don't have time to watch everything.
Yeah. I wish I did though.
No, I don't. I got to create shit. That's the other thing too.
But I would not spend my extra time probably doing that. So.
Well, it's also for me. It's like what would I prefer, playing video games or watching stuff? And then for me, it's playing video games because I'm still like a kid at heart in some ways. But I also just realized. Like it's good for the brain. It can be very depending on the video game you play naturally, but depending on the games you play. Like I play card games, a lot of collectible card games. There's math. There's quick. They're essentially brain puzzles. Can I beat the other guy? And it's basically math. It's glorified math. That's what it is. So it's actually good for the brain. It gets you like a good creative refresh, and you go out and kick some butt, right? And that's me. That's me. But here's the other thing too. They're quick. Right, the longest game is 10 minutes. Wow. That's the longest game.
That is fast. So you have to be able to have a quick reaction time and like, boom.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And I used to be. Once upon a time, I was like I said, I was told such a total nerd. I was competitive in Magic for a bit too. So
yes,
for a bit.
I watched a couple Magic games. I dated a guy a couple years ago that was super into it, and my friends that I was hanging out with were into it too. But I never got. I don't know why I didn't get into it. I guess I was really busy at the time. I don't know.
Well, no, it's a complex game. Like it's actually a really complex game. But where are you? Okay, here's the thing. So, would you play? Like I'm asking this, like possible inner gambler here. Poker.
I have played poker. I'm not super great at it because like I'm still iffy at the game. But yeah. You're a terrible liar. My husband says I'm a terrible liar, which is true.
You don't need to lie. Tell your husband you don't actually need to lie. That's the thing. If you're lying, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Right. So. Right. You did. Yeah. But that's the thing, right? When you look at the games there, like. So what's your game of choice? What's your games when you play? Do you play anything?
Card games or just games?
Games in general.
When I actually get time, I've been playing Pokemon again lately, like on my Nintendo 3DS thing. I pulled it out. It's like, here, we're gonna play on this because I was showing Harrison the different Pokemon on it, and now it's kind of like, okay, I have to keep playing it. I don't want to stop it. Like it's kind of taking me back to my younger years. I can't remember the last time I played it, but I pulled it out. It was like an hour or two had passed after Harrison was on. Like, crap, I need to go to bed. I'm gonna regret this tomorrow. So yeah.
It's like, no, you didn't. You didn't regret it a little bit. You woke up. I'm tired, but it was worth it. It was worth it.
It was, and it's kind of started. I feel like it started the rivalry thing again because when the game came out, my husband and we both got a version of it. He had one, I had one, and he's back playing it too. And there's this mood like I have to beat it before she does again. Because we completely reset both of our games. And I'm like, this is not a competition.
That's so. Who's winning?
He is right now because I haven't been able to pick it up. He says he was complaining. He's like, "That's not true because Harrison picked my team." But yeah, and I guess I could say I did not let Harrison pick my team this time. So bad mom part on me, but Chris is further because him and Harrison have sat down and played it more.
Do you know what you should encourage Harrison to do with your husband?
What?
Have him choose nothing but Magikarps.
That would be horrible, though.
You like that?
We did talk about like what he turns into, so he knows, and there's an XP share giving him points. So
No, yeah, like he gets nothing but Magikarps. That's it. That's it. Your husband would hate, if your husband heard this conversation right now, he'd be
he
like,
would
"I hate
both of us." Yes.
hate me
So.
especially because he's he hate me, not you so much, me, because see, I know what the cruel thing that is.
Yes.
The last Pokemon game I played was Pokemon Go. The one was in crazy.
Yes.
It still exists. It still exists.
I was a little obsessed with it when it came out, and I actually explored more of like the town we were living in at the time because of Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
met some interesting people. Yeah. So
it was an interesting idea. It's probably like combining the real world with a game world, which I think is really interesting. So we're talking like all this like metaverse stuff. I think if you want to advertise the true benefits of that, games are the way to do it.
Oh yeah.
Because the most, like, again, if I try to sell you something, you're gonna be like, I don't know. But if I'm like, want to play a game? You're like, oh, what kind of game? Like that, like you're not uninterested, but you're like, okay, wait, he's talking me into something. The question is, do I really want to? But back I'm saying, would you like to interact in a fun way instead of would you like to buy something? It's a different approach. And I think Pokemon Go is like the model they should be going for because it's a real world game. You're still in the real world.
Yeah.
Hey, Author Goddess.
Hello.
Hello.
And two, when they have games like that, because I also play. So there's a game on my phone that I've been playing 3 or 4 years consistently called War Dragons, and like you can have just the basic account, or you can get the elite account and have all the extra stuff too. Like that's a good form of marketing in the games as well.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, I want all these extra things to speed up all the stuff and like get more XP and like, yeah. So.
It is and it isn't. It depends on how they do it. If all the cool stuff is you got to pay for it, then no, it sucks.
It's true.
You got to have some cool stuff that's free because it's got to be fun, right?
Yeah.
Games have to be fun. And by their very nature, they require interactivity and player interest, right? So I think, but again, when I look at something Pokemon Go, it's like it got people in shape. It did something really positive as a side effect.
Yeah.
And it had some fun things. Like I'd go to a Prince Island Park in Calgary last time I was here, and I can get all the cool sea creatures. Every once in a while, you get like this rare, you get these rare Pokemon that was really cool. Or then there's like Magikarp, all of the Magikarp.
Yes. See, we didn't have Magikarp all over the place. We had a lot of, there were Eevees.
Eevee's cool.
What it was. Yeah, I got a bunch of Eevees, and it involved a lot of them. There was one park, it was a Route 66 park, which is right down the road from my old house. And there was a Charizard there. Huge, massive group of people was there trying to get it, though. And it was kind of crazy, but also kind of cool at the same time because it was bringing all these people together. So
again, it's a game environment, right? Games work that way. That's the thing. Like the one thing a novel can't do is you interact with the reader on a limited basis. Game, on the other hand, can do everything.
Yes.
Right, and so it can interact on a completely full, like a very, very cool level. So, and again, I interviewed a video game company, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's how games. That's what games can do. That's why games are fun. It's that interactivity. So when I look at Pokemon Go, it's like I remember those crazy little things. Actually, the original Pokemon craze. Do you remember back in the day when the Game Boy was still popular? The Mewtwo download. You'd show up in certain places. Oh man,
I never got to go to those places because I was too young, but I was lucky to have a Game Boy at the time.
Did you get Mew? Did you have
I
them?
did not.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're
I
there.
think one of my best friends at the time did. Her family had a little more money than mine did, so she actually got like the Game Boy Color, like actual Game Boy Color and stuff when it came out. I had to wait several years before I got that, but she got it downloaded because her family or her grandmother took her all over the place for things, and yeah, so yep.
Right. I didn't think we'd talk for 20 minutes about Pokemon, but we did.
I
That's kind of
mean,
cool.
it happens. Young at heart. I still love Pokemon, so
It's okay. It's okay. My favorite. So like my favorite game I nostalgia over is Mario Kart.
oh yes. I loved Mario Kart. I have met my match and my husband when it comes to Mario Kart, but I mean, yeah.
I used to be the last one I was really good at was Mario Kart 64. That was the last one I was really good at. I knew all the shortcuts.
Yes.
So it was fun because that's also the last game. Like when I was living with my dad, it was the last game I was living with my dad. We would play each other on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
So when I figured out the shortcuts, it's like he figured out the shortcuts too. The thing. Oh no, again, no rules. Anything goes.
Yeah.
We did everything and oh man, like those games were wild. And sometimes, like, and as you know, sometimes there's the epic screw ups too.
Yeah.
Right. Like we would. So in the first one of the shortcut, we would like jerry rig that hill where if you jump over, you fall back down. We would jerry rig that whole thing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. That's the exact one I was just thinking about too, which is so weird.
In Rainbow Road, it was like literally a leap of faith. If you hit the shortcut, you had to hit the track, or you didn't get it.
Yep.
So sometimes what happens, sometimes the races were over before they started, and sometimes we both would hit it, and that's when it got really interesting because then the computer wasn't a problem anymore. It was just us, right?
Yeah.
Right. No matter how close the computer got back to us, we would just jump far away again, and that would be the end of it, and it'd just be like. It's like the game just couldn't keep up with us. And then we had to unlock like the backwards. Trying to do those shortcuts backwards
Oh my gosh.
is ridiculous.
It was hard enough for me to do just the regular course backwards. I can't even imagine trying to do it like shortcut wise.
Yeah, you said that's my nostalgia game. I saw the new one. Actually, I was at there's literally a cafe called Super Smash Cafe. It's literally a Nintendo coffee board game cafe.
Oh, that's so cool.
So everything had Super Mario Kart on there, and I was like, I want to play this. I got no one to play this against, but I got no one to play this against right now. But it's like I wouldn't mind this. So the other thing too is I might be getting myself like the Switch might be the system of choice I get like next, right? Because I have I'm just getting rid of all my stuff from storage. But a Switch is easy to carry. That's the cool thing about a Switch. You don't
They're
need
not bad. We have one. My husband's been playing a Pokemon game with Harrison on it. Well, he did for a little bit. I don't know which one it was, but he seems to like it. So
yeah. Well, all my favorite games are going on there like in October. So it's like right around. So I'm a JRPG guy now. Like that's what I am. So I'm a big Persona guy. And I say it like that because I love love the world building, the environments, and all that stuff. So the advanced version of Persona 5, which is Royal, is on the Switch as of October. So it's like between that and all the old Nintendo games, I really really like because you got that library to access. It's like I could get
worth
lost.
it.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I be playing video games. Like, would I have a life? That's the only thing. Would I ever have a life? That's it. That's the.
Yeah.
You're like,
that was like the mom size.
you're like, it's like I too understand your pain. Like that's what I heard there. It's like I understand your pain.
Yes.
It's either that or a PS4. And the thing is, there are some games on the PS4 I want, but at the same time, it's like I've been told by some people like the Switch is actually a better system, all things considered. So it's like okay.
Yeah, and also like I like the more of the handheld games versus like sitting down and watching the TV kind of stuff. I don't know, that's just me, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm just looking at the fact that I have a giant storage locker full of stuff, and I'm slowly starting to get rid of it. I'm buying all the stuff I really want to keep, which is
Mm-hmm.
so. Today, I took home some DVDs, like stuff I haven't had in years. Like I literally have all the anime shows I want to keep at one from the like,
Yes.
right. The last one I'm getting from the bar from the storage that I'm keeping for sure is Full Metal Alchemist because I
Mm-hmm.
love me some Full Metal Alchemist, and but the rest like I'm keeping the network. I also have like the entire series of Fringe, and everything else is anime, and I'm like, I'm okay with this.
Just Marie Kondo it and just go through it and keep what
Yeah,
gives you joy.
that's it. That's it. Like
Yep.
that's where I'm at right now in my life. It's like, and so when I do start my crazy traveling like
Mm-hmm.
circus next year, like I still see myself in Calgary for another year for
Mm-hmm.
sure, but I see myself also like Calgary / travel. Like I don't see myself like anymore in the how do I put this? I see myself here, but not here next year. Like a little
Yeah.
bit somewhere in between.
It's gonna be more nomadic kind of
Yeah. Yeah,
life.
I'll still be here sometimes 'cause I got to work and stuff. Like not just, but as I keep developing my stuff, I'm going to be probably less and less reliant on needing to be in one specific place. And I kind of want to meet some of you in person,
Yes.
right? So like next year, I might want to do like, let's say like, okay, if Jane is still on here, she's in Maine. She's up there. I'm sure they got some cool events there.
Ooh, and they've got
Like,
some pretty stuff in Maine. So
yeah, oh, absolutely. Like me and her could rival each other with some of the pretty stuff we have in both provinces.
yeah,
Right.
it is very different from what it's like in Oklahoma. So
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, indeed. And there's like Dragon Con is a possibility, right? I could do that if I wanted to. I also got a lot of comic book friends now, so I could go to all these different places and meet them.
yeah,
Right. So, and like I said, I'll be doing 3 Kickstarters next year.
yeah.
Probably. Fingers crossed, probably.
You're gonna do them. You will
Yeah.
do them. Putting it
Yes.
out there.
Well, no,
Intense. Yes.
I will do them. I don't know if I'm going to do them in the time frame that I have in mind, but I will. No, like I will do them. Right. So that's kind of what like
Yes.
that's the thing, right? And so I'm getting rid of all my stuff. I'm getting ready to build my stuff up, and then the next step for me is I don't really need to be anywhere right now. So I'm kind of playing like a half and half thing, and you know, next year. And then the year after, we'll see. Like, if I stick around in Canada, I'll probably be heading back to the mountains at some point. If
I'm jealous, just a little bit. Anywhere with mountains is gorgeous. So
you saw my pictures, then I take it. I had to leave there.
Why?
Just a little too expensive right now.
Mm.
Just a little too expensive right now. I gotta actually start regularly making my zillions and zillions. I've gotten to the point as a freelancer. I regularly break 4 figures as a freelancer, which is that's good.
Yeah.
Right. But I want to make sure like I want to hit higher figures more regularly still. When I hit those numbers, if I stay in Canada, I go back into the mountains. If I decide that, I mean, the only thing that might trump that is mountains and a beach.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that might trump that. Then
that's
I'll be
like the perfect things together.
Yeah. And then at that point, I'll be learning to surf, probably hitting on women anywhere from half to my age, or somewhere in between there, and getting into all kinds of trouble, and worrying about fishing. I said this with Kara Timmons last week: fishing, drinking, and ice cream.
Yeah.
Seems like I want simple things at this point in my life. I don't want.
And there's nothing wrong with wanting simple things at any point in your life. Really.
No. Just my own personal thought process is there's not much else worth really going for, honestly. Mm-hmm. Like I look at the house, like maybe when I'm already shameless. I'm already halfway there. We're too shameless enough to get a house. Right. I might get a house, but if it's just me, like you got kids, it makes sense for you to have a house. It doesn't make as much sense for me to have a house. Like I don't. Again, I'm working smarter, not harder. Mm-hmm. I look at a house. It's like that seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's more to take care of. So,
Yeah.
especially if you have a yard, if you have a fence you got to maintain, depending on if it's privacy fence or just a regular fence. Yeah. Or if you have an HOA and yeah.
It like again, it sounds like a headache. And so I'm thinking, I'm not saying every homeowner, mind you. I'm not saying every homeowner. Again, if you have a family, I totally get it. If you have a reason to be there, I totally get it. But I think there's a lot of suckers. That's just kind of how I look at it. It's like you signed up for work. Why did you sign up for work? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe am I insane to think like that?
No, you're not.
No, no. Yeah, that's kind of it. Again, kids get it. Use get it totally. You want an environment that's stable and there. But if you're stuck just fixing the damn thing all the time, I don't know. I might develop an abusive relationship with the house. And just like all right, again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that from like we've basically redone this entire house that we're in. So yeah.
So I'm not crazy then. I'm just
No.
like no.
Not at all. So this room, I know it's a pretty color now and it looks bright. It used to look like a cave and was all brown. See it?
It looked like
Oh no, yeah, you're right. The rest of the house was brown. I'm sorry. It was dark blue, like navy dark blue. Ceiling was dark blue. All straight up dark. And we had really dark curtains in here, blackout curtains. My God, it was bad. And the rest of the house was brown. Everywhere. Brown carpet, brown walls, brown ceiling. It's so bad.
Your house sounds like a giant turd.
That's kind of what it was. So, there was one room that was one different color, and it was like it had white walls and this bright blue wall, like super bright. And yeah, that was it. It was the only like pop color in the entire house.
So then you had to take it apart, and finally, and thousands of dollars later, and probably many cases.
Yeah, we had to redo the floors. We had to paint all the house, all the walls. We're still not done painting cabinets and bathroom cabinets and stuff. Like, oh God.
This is why, like, some people look at me. It's like the house is a sure investment. It's like I'm not so sure about that. And also,
and I mentioned the fence thing earlier. We had a storm completely take out our fence a couple years ago, and we had to wait for insurance to like do it. It took 6 months for them to even get a fence. So, and I had 4 dogs at that time of that happening. So
this might be why your husband said no to animals. I have a feeling that time.
You're right.
I have a feeling that in that time there were issues, and
yeah,
and Oklahoma does get the occasional tornado and high winds and storms.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna make a hypothetical bet right now that your fence that your insurance company provide with you is, to put delicately, shit. So
it's actually a good one because they put metal poles in the ground instead of the wooden poles that snapped in half. So it's a little bit stronger, and the wood is not rotted yet.
It's better than expected. Okay, I'll grant you that. It's better than expected.
Yeah.
But could it get taken down again?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
It's Oklahoma. So
yeah. This is why your husband's saying no to pets. Now I understand. This is why. It's not he's against the idea of pets. It's because it's all the headaches that come with some of the extracurricular stuff, right? That he can't control. This is what it is. I think
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I had a moment of understanding. This is where he's coming from. I get it. You're still going to buy animals anyway. I already know this.
I'm doing better about not bringing animals home. So I'm doing better. I officially deleted the message I wanted to send him about fostering a group of puppies. So that I typed up this morning. So, he didn't hear me, so we're good. Because the last dog we fostered, we ended up keeping. We foster failed. So, yeah. I have a soft bleeding heart for animals, okay? I've made you speechless, Josh. This is like the first time ever.
It's not okay. So sometimes it's not really about making you speak. Now I'm just like I'm listening to you, right?
Yeah.
And I can just see. I have a picture in my head now, and what I've concluded is, right? What I've concluded is, if the animal's cute and adorable, do not introduce it to you. I
Yep,
don't care
that's
who.
true.
Yeah, do not do it.
I got in trouble a lot as a kid for feeding the stray animals that would come up to the house. So, because they would stay.
Of course they would.
Yep. Yep.
The animals weren't stupid.
Yep.
Right? They were like, wait, she's gonna feed us.
But I did figure out recently that my dad is actually one that encouraged it, even though he said no, he encouraged it because they had a dog show up at their house last weekend, and it's like a boxer mix. And they put up stuff trying to figure out whose it was because they live in the middle of the country. A dog that's house trained and stuff does not just show up. Okay.
No.
So I think somebody dumped it. And my family's always been known for taking care of animals and stuff. But I was like, oh, y'all should call it Pepper because it's spotted and it's like super cute. It's really young. And my dad's been feeding it and treating it like it's his best friend now. And I'm just like, yep, that's where I got it. Okay.
Yeah, no, I so like I said, for me, until I finally am ready to settle down, I don't think it's fair for me to have a pet because for the point of view of the animal, I'm asking a lot if I'm traveling a lot. Like I'm just like it would be very selfish of me to expect that.
Unless it's small enough, you can have it in like a carry-on.
So when I was a kid, I moved a lot. Like, I mean, a lot. We had this partial Siamese cat.
Aww.
It was partially. It was mostly. I can't remember the other brand of it. The other thing of it was, but we had moved so many times, the animal kind of broke. Not like internally because it couldn't adjust any. It wasn't. It just was very hard for it to adjust to a surrounding. It would just get very, very antsy.
Yeah.
It almost like it knew it wouldn't stick around, right? Because it got that instinct because we just moved so much. So we ended up letting it go because there's no way it could like withstand.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a point with all animals you like if it's a small animal and you're just doing like a visit somewhere, that's doable. But if you're moving all the time, it's just not fair to the animal at all. Yeah. There's a point even with me. Like I've done something like I'm finally older than the number of moves I've done. Right. So like it's like there's a point with that though when you just get tired of moving, right? There's a little bit like you want that stability, and I say that funnily enough because I'm still at that. I don't know if I want to be here. Let's figure stuff out. But because it takes a toll, it does take a toll on you. It does take a toll on you, and you have to like. I'm ready to travel, but there's gonna come a point in my life where I'm gonna be like, I don't want to do that anymore. Or if I do it, it'll be the same thing. I'll be like a half and half. I'll be somewhere where I'm comfortable. Yeah. Half the time, the other half of the time, I'll be on the road meeting people, doing crazy shit. Because
which will be fun, but definitely hard to have a pet. So.
Yeah, exactly. Now, when I get to that settling point, I'll be like, okay, then maybe a cat, maybe a dog, maybe right. Probably a cat. I'm more of a cat person, but that's
they're more self-sufficient. So.
Yes, yeah. No, they can. They also have like the easiest life in the world, and they're the house cat. They eat, they sleep most of the time, and occasionally they lick themselves. That's pretty much it.
Yep. Perfect examples behind me.
Yeah. Who now has no cat, no Harrison bugging. Just went back right to sleep.
Yeah, he went right back to sleep. So although he's getting out of the tub, so. But it is almost time for that cat to wake up and do his zoomies. He does the zoomies about like 8:30 every night. Because my other cat comes out, she sleeps most of the day over here in the window on this side of me. Yeah, and they play from one end of the house to the other. I'm like, really, guys? Y'all are gonna break something. So.
Yeah, well, that's just their nature. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, let's play. My play buddy. Hey.
It's cute though because he gets he gets really loud. He like is super chatty and she's not. So it's like you hear like a half of their chatty conversation and it's cute.
See, you got like 3 or 4 novels in your house, or even like
Oh
little
yeah.
like you just gotta like, when you have a little bit more sanity back in your life again, ish.
Yeah. Which I did write a fun little like cozy mystery about my older cat who stays in the living room. She like has this little box that's in the shape of a house that I got from PetSmart. That's where she sleeps, and she's 12. But it's just like a cozy mystery where she's the main character, and all the other cats are in it too. I submitted it to an anthology, but they didn't accept it because they had so many different like submissions at the time. So I might have to publish that at some point because it's cute. It's just really kind of fun, creative thing that I had fun doing.
So I could see it. Madilynn Dale, steamy, dirty romance writer by day, kids authored by night.
I mean, it could happen. I have some ideas for books because my son loves dinosaurs, but I haven't like got to sit down and write them out. So yeah, so my dad works at a museum, and we get to see like a little bit of the back stage kind of stuff that goes on there with the dinosaurs and their dinosaur projects and everything. So it's been really fun to see.
It's okay. You're a little kid, so when my Dr. Seuss's book comes out, you're gonna be like, okay, this is how you do it. And then again, I'm gonna see like your own stuff for like in the future, and be like, Madilynn Dale,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So
Yeah.
I have
Actually-
way too many ideas with not enough time.
Well,
I
no,
know.
totally. And you're still in the middle of your book series, right? So,
Mm,
yeah.
Yep.
So, have you been working on the sequel to your Black Flame?
Yes, it's done. It's finished. It's in the editing process, which I'm not rushing it, but I've actually so I put a question up in my group because I've got a couple of things up on Kindle Vella, and I asked today. I was like, okay, how many of you guys would read it if I put Blue Flames up on Kindle Vella? And I've had one person respond who is not really an ebook reader, but I don't think anybody else has seen it yet. But I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to do it or not. But it would give me more time to work on edits and everything, and others can get like the early copy through Bella. But I don't know.
I don't know if that's. I think it's a fun idea to do an experiment on something, but I almost feel like it's like again, I'm doing experiments next year.
Yeah.
But most of them are one, except for my. So I have a book 1. My third Kickstarter is going to be a book 1. My second one's going to be my Alice series.
Yeah.
First one's going to be my Dr. Seuss, but the Alice series, I don't have a physical edition of the book yet. So I'm thinking about it right now, like what cool bells, whistles, and knobs can I add to the Alice stuff to have a lot of fun? Once I get a little bit more ahead, I'm going to actually meet with Kenzie. She's done through all the marriage stuff right now, and I'll be like, hey, you got time, and we'll talk. Like have a definitive edition of the physical book. 'Cause I get the feeling digitally it's done when it's done, but I think physically is where that book's going to do really, really, really well. But I'm like, okay, so but this is also the one where, because it's Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
I could be like, I could do something different with this book. Right? So I could do like a collector's edition and a regular edition, and both would, like, I could do one I could launch in a bookstore, although I'm not sure how much of a bookstore thing I'm going to do at this point in the ball game. But that's the whole idea, right? You have this like you have these thoughts like, how do I experiment? Like, what books can I experiment with?
Yeah.
Right. And like I said, if it wasn't for Alice, it's middle of the series. Do I really want to do an experiment on? No,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right?
I haven't thought of it like that.
Now, if you could do that Dinosaur Harrison book, that's the one you go absolute ape shit on. You do all the crazy stuff. Like maybe you put it on Wattpad, maybe you put it on Novella.
No.
Yeah, right. I'm just throwing ideas at. I'm just throwing different ideas. That's
not a bad idea. Because I could do it in parts.
Yeah, because Yeah, I see Mr. Harrison is free of his bathly confines.
Oh, he's working on it.
He's working on it. Yeah.
He's finishing his game with his Pokemon.
Okay, so I gotta ask this. Can you do the Pokemon theme song by heart?
Me or him? Him, not yet.
You.
But
I'm talking
not
you.
really. I mean, there's still some of the words I forget. But there's also, is it the short version that was the actual like one on the show, or the actual version of it?
The actual one on the show is what I'm talking about. Not.
I remember most of it.
Yeah.
So.
So for me, it's the Team Rocket stuff.
That one is, yeah. So
that one's awesome. And so this one time on Facebook, someone did a Pokemon. A former friend of mine did a Pokemon thing. It's like, I want to be the very best. And someone actually responded like, no one ever was.
Yes.
That the next response was, to catch them is my like every line of the song started to go down. It was fantastic. Because again, we've all had that stuff, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So, and you can't not sing it when you say it. Like, it's
the ultimate earworm.
Yes.
It's the ultimate earworm, right? Because anyone that remembers that era is going to be like, this is the. No, I have found the actual full version of the song on it's 3 verses. It's actually a full.
Yeah. My husband pulled it up a while back. I was like, wait, I don't remember that being in there. He's like, oh, look, this is a full version. I was like, oh, okay.
There are full versions, right? Which is really, really, really freaking cool.
It is.
So, yeah, for me it was again going back to Power Rangers for a second here. So here's the ultimate morph thing.
Mommy, I want to be an animal doctor when I grow up.
You want to be an animal doctor when you grow up? Okay. Are you going to bed?
What do we call an animal doctor?
A vet?
No.
No.
I'm a doctor. The creatures that are scary.
Okay. That's still a vet. Or you can be a zoologist.
What is that?
They study a bunch of different animals. Okay, go read books with Daddy. This folder's in there. This is the school folder. What? Okay, yeah, go.
No, not yet.
Well, here, you want to listen? Hold on, it's stuck. You got it stuck.
Hi, Harrison.
Can you hear him?
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi.
Good?
Yeah.
He lost it.
Got it?
You got it?
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
Thumbs up? You got it? Okay. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
You good? So you want to be a zoologist when you grow up?
What?
Did you want to be an animal doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So why do you want to be an animal doctor?
What?
Why do you want to do it? What's your favorite animal?
I want to doctor creepy animals.
Creepy animals. Okay.
Like a bat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doctor a bat too.
A bat? Okay.
Bat. Okay.
He's been watching Wild Kratts. So.
All right, bud. I'm going to go read all your books.
Okay.
No.
Remember, we got new books today from the library. So go. Mommy's got to finish chatting with Josh. Tell him bye.
Reading all your books.
Bye, Mr. Harrison.
Wait.
Oh.
I
Come on, think of them.
Okay, go. Love you, dude.
Hey. Say, love you, dollars.
I gotta ask this before you do this. So do you mind if I take that, use that little scene as
You
the
totally
clip?
can, because it is cute.
Yes, I'm gonna call it Harrison is my nemesis. I hope that's what I'm gonna call it. Because this is the second time he's done this. So.
Is it been twice? Are we sure? Oh, no, that was a different show we were on that he did. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like how you said it.
It was like, because it was a Go Indie Now show, I think he hijacked too, sort of.
No, and me and Joe are just like, well, what are we gonna do, right? Like we can't win. But that's the thing, we just can't win. Harrison's what, 3 or 4?
4. He'll be
He's
5
4.
in January. So
He's 4 years old. Can you really be mad at a 4-year-old child for being a 4? No, you can't.
He's very creative. The stories he comes up with are adorable. So,
you know, I just realized that your husband's going to lose this battle with the animal thing. He's going to lose it because I can just see the future here, and that's this. is see Harrison. If he's got anything like if he's anything like you, right? If he's anything like you, and he's a little bit like his dad, he's got a little bit of his dad's ingenuity. Oh man, your husband's screwed. He's just so screwed.
Yeah.
There's nothing he's going to be able to do. So you might even be sick of the animals he brings home. I'm just letting you know this up front. You know.
I know. Well, he's already asked for a snake and a lizard, and my husband's like, "No, we're not doing them." I'm like, "Why? They're great animals." Like,
I know lots of people with snakes. Lizards.
Yeah.
My sister. So little in fact, in my novel, The Cloud Diver, Chester the zombie is actually named after my sister's lizard, Chester.
That
It's
is so
named,
cool.
That's why I named him Chester. It's a reminder. It was like, why not have a little like personal little touch to it. So yeah.
Well,
So Chester.
when I was a kid, we brought in, my brother and I caught a little king snake, and he had one of his because he'd also had iguanas and stuff. So we pulled out the old iguana like cage and put it in there. We said king snake, figured out how to get out of it. First off, we never told my mom that we brought it in the house. She didn't know until after it had gotten out somewhere, and it was in the house somewhere. Still never found it. My dad knew. We didn't tell her till we moved out. And then my brother got to have a bald python. So
see, now that made me speechless. There's nothing I could say to that. Nothing.
yeah.
So I mean, I've heard some really fun stories about snakes like popping up in toilets and wet places all the time in tubs. Or they just come out of the like you want horror stories like that's the stuff that's like.
I've had a friend that happened to that I cheered with in college, and she put saran wrap over the top of the toilet because she couldn't get it out, and she was freaking out because her son found it. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I would never sit on a toilet again. Which at my old job, we had a giant like spider show up in one of the toilets, and my friend almost sat on the toilet in there, and she came screaming out of the bathroom, Patty! I was like, what? What do you want me to do about it? I would flush the toilet. I don't know what you to do about it. So
I think that's the hilarious part for me, right? Is I mean, you gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
she was scared to get near the toilet after she almost sat down on top of it. So I was like, I don't blame you, but you can't just leave it in the toilet.
No, you got to deal with it, right? Somehow, some way, right? You got to deal with it. I mean, it's not going anywhere. It's there until someone flushes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like
at that point, though, I kind of look at it's like So we went from literally Pokemon to the toilet. I just want you to understand on this episode.
Spiders, snakes, animals, Pokemon.
Harrison.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the king snake thing that's a good story though. That is fantastic. We just didn't tell her about it. We knew it was there.
Yeah.
We'll let her find out the hard way if it comes to that.
Yeah. We did things like that to my mom a lot. So
your mom sounds like a tough woman.
She still is. Yeah.
She had to be just the. I mean, you got her toughness too. But yeah, right. You may not be as tough as her. I don't know, but you got that toughness. You got that toughness a little bit.
We put her through a lot. There was a lot of injuries, hospital visits, stuff. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Tough as nails, ladies and gentlemen. Tough as nails.
Yeah, she was the one that used to take me to all the rodeos. So, yeah. She got to see me get trampled, thrown, drug, you name it.
Built character.
Yes. Definitely.
I reminded so when I was living in Windsor, my dad were living with lifelong friends, and I remember at the time, her son was about 4 or 5 years younger than me.
He said there's more new books.
Yeah, I put them in the bedroom already.
Where?
On the nightstand.
All of them?
Yep. There's only like 4 new books.
Okay, so he made it sound like that's all.
No, the rest are still new.
Okay, thank you, love you.
You're welcome. Love you too. Sorry. We went to the library today, so we got new books. because my son likes to read like anywhere from 4 to 8 books a night before we go to bed. So yeah.
It's gonna be cool. He's about a year from being able to do it on his own fully,
Oh, yeah.
and then yeah, it'll be cool.
I'm looking forward to him reading it on his own because I'm like, okay, do we have to read the long books?
Yes, you do. Yes, you
Which
do.
we do. So he tried to convince me to get him a chapter book today. I'm like, dude, you won't sit still long enough for me to finish this. Like, we've tried this.
So,
You're not there yet.
Do you know what the magical solution is there? Comic book graphic novels or manga.
He does. He really does like the comics. So we've read some. I picked some up. I let him go pick some of the Marvel comics out, which I was like, okay, we can't read this one yet. It's a little too gory for your age. But
So the ironically, the two I'm going to recommend: Ms. Marvel,
oh yeah,
Unbeatable Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl.
She's unbeatable. It's awesome.
Let's see if they've got 'em.
You will like I might make you a fan. Like he'll outgrow that one and want something a little bit more eventually. But then that's when you look at Teen Titans or Legion of Superheroes, right? Something like more, or the cartoony Ninja Turtles comic, not the one I'm reading, but the cartoony ones.
Yeah.
Right. So those do exist. Right. There's not a lot of. Or like there are some good kids books out there. They're not usually DC or Marvel, but if I were to recommend 2 Marvel books for kids, Ms. Marvel, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl,
I will get them.
Yeah. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl fights she always wins. That's the cool thing. She's unbeatable, but they're silly. They're incredibly silly. And if he's just a touch older, although he actually probably would enjoy them now. There's a graphic novel, if you can find it, called Axe Cop.
Okay.
That one's
I might
there.
have that at the library. So
Yeah, that one they'll have. If you want to ask a Kickstarter suggestion, there's a buddy of mine's book called Pitter Patter, which is really fun. Right, I can definitely introduce you to, and maybe he can do something for you. Yeah, there are some good kid stuff out there. It's just you have to be very discerning. Most of the big companies don't make comics for that kids anymore, but unfortunately, but they do have a decent library if you know what to look for. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl was Marvel's best-selling book in Scholastic. So
really,
yes, it was.
I know they've got a kids comic section because I've been trying to utilize like our library a lot more for like books for him and learning because we have a bunch. Because my mom's a teacher. She, when he was born, gave me like boxes and boxes of books. I was just like, oh my god, like it was a lot. So, but we've had to go through a lot of them because we had the same books, and we're kind of looking to expand more of like what he's reading. So we've been using the library.
So okay, I'll have one more suggestion. He might be still a little too young to read it, so I don't. So this one. Read and discern for yourself. Jeff Smith's Bone.
Okay, I'll have to look at it.
Yeah. Read it before you make the decision on that.
Yeah.
He's just young enough that might be still a little too young for him, but it's cool and he'll love. Like that book is like Unbeatable Squirrel Girl won't hurt him at all, but he might eventually be like, she's a girl. I don't know what he's like, but
he is not gender specific right now with like comics and stuff. So
yeah, it's just so Unbeatable Squirrel Girl's about as safe as you can get. Miss Marvel's pretty close to that. But then I would be like Bone would be like my next chart, or Teen Titans Go would be another one I'd go with. Like you can't go wrong with those. Or okay, if you want a manga, I'll give you a manga suggestion because I don't think it's. I think you could probably take it by and large. Spy X Family. It's about a secret agent that has to go undercover. And he has to get himself a wife and kids to go undercover with her, but they're not really married. But his wife's secretly an assassin, right? And his daughter is secretly a telepath. She's the only one that knows what's going on, kind of, sort of. But she's 5, so she doesn't fully understand it because she's 5, but she can read both their minds. It's actually and they also have and they have a dog that can see the future. It is actually one of the silliest.
It sounds like he would love that. So
Again, same thing. Read it to be sure he's mature enough to handle it. Assuming he is, And yes, it's actually it's my favorite manga. So I mean,
Oh,
that tells you how old I am at heart. But that's okay.
I mean, we've established we're both kind of kids at heart, so it's okay.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I think because I know eventually Mr. Harrison's going to want your attention again and abduct you. So two final questions before we get to the plugging of the stuff. First question is, this one is a fun one. What's your favorite Pokemon?
Oh, that is such a hard one, though. Oh, God. Okay. Can I break it down like favorite starter, favorite non-starter kind of
If you
stuff?
want
Or
to.
okay, so my favorite starter is Charmander. I'm partial to Eevee because there's so much you can do with Eevees.
Eevee's my favorite as far as that goes. My favorite my favorite Pokemon of all time though is Mew. I love the classic, like not Mewtwo. Mew's like the chill version
so
of
cute. Yes.
What? But he's the chill version of Mewtwo. You can do everything Mewtwo can do, but he's playful.
Yes. He's like a cat. I think of him kind of like a cat because he's
he's like the cat that can do anything, but he's just silly. Like he's just a silly. Mewtwo takes himself very seriously, right? Mew does not. Mew just like, I'm me.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. So, and the last question is, before I get to the plugs of stuff, do you have any more releases coming out towards the end of the year here?
Yes. So actually got the title of one recently. Where did I put it? I had it pulled up. Haha, here it is. Okay. And I'm not going to share the covers because I don't think it. One of them I was told to hold off yet because they're still getting it done. But one is Spice and Steam. It's a sampling of Central Stories edited by Adam Gaffin and A.C. Adams. And then Deals and Blood is one that's coming out probably quicker than, I don't know, maybe those will be out at the same time. And that is A.A. Warren Publishing Group. Like, I think that's what she's got at. Amanda Warren is doing that anthology. And then I've got another one that's with her that'll be a Christmas anthology. I think it's Starlight is what it's going to be called. I don't have that cover yet, but those are the next 3 coming out from here until December. So
you're a busy woman. I have possibly one more thing coming out this year. I don't know. It's my official working comic book debut.
Ooh, yeah.
It's my I did a little story for an anthology. So at this point it's being drawn. Like I wrote it a while ago. So I mean it's being drawn. It's for an actual publisher. I mean, like I said, it was kind of cool. It's a short little piece. So it'll show up in an anthology somewhere down the road. And I don't know if it's coming out this year or not. And then on top of that, I got everything else I'm working on towards and trying to get done for the end of the year because, like I said, next year I'm releasing 3, maybe 4, right? And I'll tell you some of the things off the air I can actually talk about. And I may even go show you a little glimpse of what I'm working on first.
And I do have some Bella stories that are going to be books when they're done, but they're not my main focus. The Ember series is going to be it.
That's your monster.
Yeah, I gotta finish book 3 and get that going. So yeah.
There's no rush. There's absolutely no rush.
I'm trying to convince my brain that though, because my brain's been conditioned to just go since forever, and I'm like, we're retraining to slow down and enjoy things.
You can go listen. You can go beat your husband with his Pokemon team. That's what you can work on.
I gotta wait till Harrison's asleep to do that though.
He
won't go to sleep, and he has to get up for school in the morning.
And that's okay. Like I said, for your husband, all of the magic card, all of them.
Yes, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and
until we all evolve into Gyarados, and I'm screwed.
Well, it takes a long time to get to Gyarados. It takes a very, very long time.
I have a fairy Pokemon, which is super effective against Dragon type, so we're good.
Yeah. So it's like, I'll just use him. Bing, 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 dead.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Yes. This has been a very serious It's okay. This is why people like my show. This is why people like coming on my show too, because it's like, we can just go screw around and it's not a big deal.
So we get on to possibly talk about books and turn it into Pokemon and animals and stuff. So
hi,
Anita.
Honestly, yes.
That's
No
what
worries.
in there. So
So you missed a very important conversation about Pokemon. That's what you missed today. We talked Pokemon, and also we've established that Harrison is my nemesis.
yes,
That's what we established. He held the show up again, although this one was much briefer and a lot more fun too. He came on, talked. So that's what you missed,
it
Anita.
was cute. It was adorable.
Yes, it was very, very cute. But so you got to plug something and where people can find you. So you should probably do that right here.
Yes. So you guys, I'm focusing more of my social media, like chatting on Facebook and Twitter right now, but you can find all of my stuff on thechaptergoddess.com. That is my website. It's got links to all of my books, which are published wide. I've got a lot happening this fall, not just with books, but also with Go Indie Now. You'll catch me a lot on there. My interviews are on my YouTube page, and also you can find them on Go Indie Now. Yeah.
It's good. I see you got. I'll say it's like, okay, I think I did everything I'm supposed to do, or something to that effect. Anyway, no,
Everything is on my website. Go there.
go
Find
there,
all my
folks.
stuff.
Real
And you
quick,
can sign up for my newsletter there, which is the absolute best way to keep up with what is going on with me and what's going on in life, because I do like a special get to know me section in the newsletter on top of like weekly happenings. So yeah, check
which
it
is
out.
very cool.
Yeah.
Real quick
that's
before
my
we
new
wrap
thing.
up, Anita, what was your live tonight? What were you up to?
Ooh.
So I hit it twice because I'm a trained professional or something.
You're good.
Yes. But real quick, let's see if she answers before I wrap this up.
Yes.
I'll give this like a minute or two. If she answers it, great. If she doesn't, that is totally fine.
Yes. If not, I'm going to look it up in a minute.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to give it 10 more seconds here, and then we're going to wrap this bad boy up. And yes, folks, I am that trained professional. I do decide that on the raw like that sometimes.
Yes.
Doing a horror live in a Facebook group. That's
Ooh.
cool. That's cool. All right, folks. That will do it. Now, if you want to support this podcast, you can now obviously do some cool sponsorship stuff, or heck, you can check my advertising service, where I do videos about products and the created products in themselves. You can see small samples of that with the videos I've been releasing on social media about different podcasts. If you want to check that out, or check out my page to see and find out more. And I took a later week off this week because I did 8 episodes last week. So I decided 3 this week was good enough. So Friday, I'm doing another drink and draw with Shawnee O. She's finally back after a few months. We're going to have a little chat and see what she's been up to. And that will do it. So, folks, I'm going to make the recommendation. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my newsletter. Hold on a second here. I gotta do the trained and wonderful professional thing of going to find the campaign address, because I'm so well trained, Maddie. I have that right in front of me, like I should, right? Like I should. Give me a second here.
You are good.
Yeah. And
I
then,
stay scatterbrained, so you're doing a lot better than I am.
I have most of my shit together most of the time. I actually forgot an appointment today because the lettering problem has to be resolved. So I went to a professional, like one of my buddies that's doing a Kickstarter next month, and because he's a letterer as well. So this is my newsletter. If you have not signed up for it, you should do so now, because tonight's the night I revealed the big guest for the start of my anniversary show. I'm going to be doing that pretty much within a couple hours after this. So if you haven't done so already, go there, right? I do advertise my video stuff, but I also show other cool things off too, like other projects and stuff like that. So definitely go check that out. And that will do it for this episode, Just Joshing. So again, Friday, Shawnee O. Jones' show, and that will do it. So for everybody watching, everybody listening, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Stay inspired, keep shining in the dark, and I'll see you guys next time.